Hey, Peter.
Hey.
You know what today's all about?
No, I have no idea, actually.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches?
Sandwiches.
I love me a nice tempeh sandwich.
Arizona.
Not that kind.
I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter
And
Martin.
you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Jazz.
Explain. We're doing a lot of fist bumping. You fist bumped Caleb for the
Well,
intro.
because he nailed that intro.
He did really nail that
Yeah,
intro.
I wanted to make him nervous, too. It didn't work. But it was congratulatory, but it was also a preemptive strike in case he was getting too cocky about his execution. Good job.
Can I just put my stuff?
Dude, we're trying to do a podcast
I'm
here.
so sorry.
Can you get professional?
Okay, we're going to get
We're
professional.
on YouTube, we're on Apple, we're on Stitcher.
We are, and we're on SpeakPipe. You can leave us a message if you go to you'llhearit.com, just like our old friend Spaceman Alex did. He's left us. All right, so
He's left us more questions that we've answered than anybody.
Well, we've
over the
answered a
years.
lot of his questions, but I got to admit, Peter, he's left us like, I don't know, Alex, what do you think? Like 5 or 6 in a row? He's really wants to talk about this rhythmic concept, and we keep avoiding it because it's kind of a heavy topic, Alex, and we don't really know what to say, but I thought we could just address it head on.
So let me get this straight. We're going to play a question and answer a question that we are unable to answer today.
I think we should just try
How's
to
that for a teaser, y'all? Tune into the podcast today.
I mean, we're going to crash and burn maybe, but
Really?
it's going to
Okay.
be fun. So let's see what happens.
Sounds
This is, also, Alex is always thoughtful and entertaining, so
Doesn't mean we're going to be able to answer it, though.
it does not mean that.
First off, I'll be one to defend that Sharp 9 video.
Whoa.
Definitely enjoyed the diverse examples. And Peter Martin soloing over Beyonce, as another YouTube commenter said, was definitely a treat.
We've heard that.
And speaking of treats, sandwiches? Seriously, I think there's something to be said about polymetric swing, and I want to hear more. Mike Longo spoke about layering triplets, and so did Barry Harris. Thinking about time in layers with polyrhythms such as 3 against 2 and 3 against 4 adds the depth that we hear from the likes of Cannonball and Wes and many others. Once again, this isn't about playing polyrhythms. Rather, this is about feeling everything you play against a polyrhythmic swing. Bob DeBoo knows what's up. Come on, let's talk about rhythmic sandwiches.
Let's
You
talk
know
about
they are
rhythmic
tasty.
sandwiches.
Bob DeBoo does
Let's
know
talk
what's
about
up. He does
rhythm,
teach our
yeah.
rhythm class at Open Studio Pro, and he does teach a lot of polyrhythmic swing. So I think it's really hard, Alex, because I don't know about you, Peter.
We don't
actually
understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Polymetric swing is what he said, I think. I don't actually know what that.
Polyrhythmic swing.
Polymetric?
He said polyrhythmic. But
Yeah,
then he
well,
said it's not about polyrhythms,
But then he said 3/2 and 3/4.
which would be polymetronomic.
Rhythms. But I think what he's talking about, we do know.
Okay, yeah.
Which is like, if you're on 1, right? So give me a little B flat blues bass line. So it'd be like. Adding that into your swing. I think that's, Alex, maybe what you're getting at. See, we don't really have the words to describe it. Peter and I are both conservatory dropouts.
Do they teach this stuff at the Oh, that would be great if they
I'm
did.
sure someone does.
So, okay, are we just talking about 2 against 3?
I think that's what he's talking about is using that. And actually, I wanted to address this too because we try to teach rhythm at Open Studio Pro and with our Open Studio members as well. It is one of the harder things for people to wrap their head around unless they feel it. So, Alex, I think like one of the main takeaways for me for this is that you and I would say it's more important that you don't think like this than I don't think like this because I don't think like this, but also you don't think like this. And I know a lot of great pianists that don't know what polymetric means, but they just do it. Right. So if we're talking about that, and I hear you do this all the time. So if we're doing that. So I wonder if you could, I hear you do like. Which is 3/4, 3/2. Yeah, you do a lot of offbeat polyrhythmic metronome. Yeah. So I guess we could just talk about like where does that come from?
All right.
It's got to be from listening, first of all.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of some things.
Yeah.
Gang. Because you've got the main kind of the one on the beat is dun, 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 dun. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, bum. Yeah.
And then you group this into groups of 2.
Right. So when the bass line goes with it, can get interesting.
Or groups of 4. It gets trippy. I almost never work on this shit. I just kind of practice it as a solo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in my improvisation.
That is one way, though. I think maybe a little entry point is with the bass line, because if you think 1, 2, 3, and then you just go to straight quarter note triplets. But then you don't necessarily, well, maybe at first you do, but you don't always think about resolving on the 1. So you got.
And then you could do this. Oh, yeah.
But then you go.
There's also a way to get into that sort of 3/4 thing without even going to triplets. So keep the bass line going. Okay. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, and. 3/4 notes. Phrases that are 3/4 notes long. Right? So even just like 3 beats over a tune that's in 4/4, like putting your phrases 3 beats long. So it's like a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That can be a great open door into this thing. And then you could also go, in the 8th note, like you can go way, way down on this. So. So again, that if I'll explain what we're doing here. So let's do another.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So this is 8th note triplets.
2, 3, 4.
Dot, 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 dot. We'll do it in groups of 2. And then you can do groups of 4. These work really, really well with like 7th chords.
I'm just linking up the bass line.
Now keep it just quarter notes so you can hear it against it.
Now keep doing it and I'll link up with it.
And then leaning into it. Leading into a straight rhythm after you do that is really, really great.
And I think with these, what's fun is like for the actual application of them is like resisting trying to resolve it where it feels like it needs to resolve, because that forces you to really phrase it in a way that like you're going to lose some of the logic of the direction of the phrase once you go into this, because you're throwing off the listener, like their natural kind of like you set up, especially if you start going, or the bass player starts going.
Yeah, nothing's worse than if you actually are just square with this. Be playful with it.
But if you go all the way to MAC. And so that's resolving on 2 instead of 1.
Instead of a 1. But also with this too, Peter, like this is like anything else. Like you need to use this as a way to create tension against playing inside the rhythm, and that inside the rhythm could be a great resolution to this. So if you're
Gotcha.
it actually makes your inside playing
Yeah.
a little bit sound even like stronger.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of this. Well, it's from. I didn't go into all of the 3/2s, but there's a little bit of it on the Kenny Kirkland video because Kenny Kirkland was a
He's all about
master of
this.
this. Jeff Watts, the way they play. I got a chance to play a few times with Jeff Watts, and it's like when you even start hinting at this stuff.
He goes with you.
Oh man, he goes with you, and then he plays it.
And he comments on it.
Oh
Yeah,
man, it's
yeah.
so fun. But you got to know exactly where you're at.
Let me lay down this bass line
you
for
gotta
you.
feel where you're at.
And why don't you just show the people, maybe just play around with it.
Okay.
It's kind of unnatural to try to like force this in, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? 1, 2, 3.
That was a little much. I don't know if I did any of
That was
that.
a lot
what we were
much.
talking about, but that's playing around with the time, right?
Playing around with the time. Yeah. Well, Alex, I really hope that this helps to at least answer how we might approach it. Because like I said, this isn't something that we've actually, at least I haven't, and I'm guessing just hearing you talking about it that
I'm wondering too, though, the idea of polyrhythmic swing, just in case he's talking about something else, or just another thing to think about is like, you know, if you're a bing, ding, 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 like there's that idea of where you're shifting over to the 3, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4,
the dotted quarter note thing.
No, it's not that. I don't think it's not a quarter because it's an actual quarter note triplet over it, but you're treating it like it's 4.
Right.
So you got 1, 2, 3, tang, tang. I'm just thinking about the drums because they dang, 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 dang.
Yeah.
And if you do it on that bang,
Yeah, that's
where
nice.
you skip that first. That Jeff Watson and them used to play that a lot. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then I just started trying to play along with it. And I think that's what that is. But I don't know if that's polyrhythmic swing.
I mean, if anything, this is like a really great endorsement for doing what Christian McBride tells us to do, which is to keep a triplet going in your head as you're swinging.
Ah, right.
So whenever you're swinging, if we're swinging on this tempo, let's try it again. I'm just going to keep in my head. 1, 2,
I got bass line.
3, and because then you can get all these polyrhythms
Yeah.
going. Could also get the inside stuff.
Nice. That's fun stuff.
That was fun. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for the question. If you want to leave us a speak pipe, go to you'llhearit.com and leave us a speak pipe. Go over to our You'll Hear It YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't already.
I love when you point over towards the
We're
YouTube.
over there. Check out my new hoodie, man, over on YouTube. You can see this hoodie. This is for our Open Studio Pro folks. Caleb, can you go to my single shop, please? Thanks, Caleb.
Things we always know Adam's going to say.
This is something that we say all the time over there. The 2 is just the 5. Shout out to Barry Harris on that one.
But do not go to openstudiojazz.com/pro. Stay away from that place.
You're not ready.
You're not ready.
You're not ready. Yeah.
Until next time.
You'll hear it.